Whatever you want.
And this was
You're the
something
boss, go
that,
for it.
was brought up to me last month.
I tried to get right on time.
Oh,
Assuming that Fitbit is right.
just to make sure that no one's recording.
It's one of the face here.
Thank you, that was,
Hit
So
the
what's
spot,
good?
didn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was
You
good.
just hit it. Does Ron want one? You didn't offer her one.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. First item of business is to accept Ann Barcy's resignation.
do you need a motion for
I
that?
need a motion.
I will make a motion that regretfully we accept Ann's resignation as she is moving.
Yes, to her dream home. I need a second for that motion.
I'll second with regrets.
Okay, and roll call?
Weber?
Yes.
Appleby?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Yes. Fry? Kinsella, yes. Free partner?
Yes. Okay, second item of business, I would like to appoint Jennifer to the Personnel Committee. So, Margie, you can.
Do we have a motion for that as well?
No, I
No.
just get to.
No,
the
it's
point.
an appointment.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's an appointment, so welcome aboard.
Yeah, yay.
And roll call.
They so nicely already brought the book, or
The
somewhere,
information,
here.
right there on
Bill's
top.
right there, yeah.
There'll be a test.
Get to know them well.
Okay, roll call. Richard Appleby?
Present.
Paula Free partner?
Present.
Jennifer Fry?
Present.
Lynn Hobbs?
Present.
Carolyn Kinsella present. Margie Weber?
Present?
All in attendance.
Okay, thank you. Are there any corrections or changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none. Public comment time. Is there anybody who would like to address the board?
Big Sally, I just wanted to say that, the programs that are going on here are really great, and it's definitely a turnaround. My only concern, and I've spoke to a few members on the board about this, is still the hours, and I know staff, and I've heard policies aren't in place, but this is something that really needs to get moving, especially with, I know there's a page position open, but we really need circulation, especially, I feel like, is the biggest need. Because these programs are just, it's sad that they're not gonna be as used as they could be, because I feel like a lot of people that work, they're not gonna be able to attend it. It's really more of a retired library at this point, it seems like, unless you're home during the day or can attend those, morning, afternoon things, it's just not gonna happen. Even some of these programs for kids happening like right after school, it's a really hard time slot to get here, and they're hungry and they just got off of school, and so it's kind of difficult, especially like in the movie nights, which used to be really great. Those, it's just not really possible that early in the evening. I feel like it's nicer when it's later. So I feel like it's just something, an issue that it's been months on months of it not getting resolved, and eventually it'd be nice to see really focused efforts on that, as much as possible. I know seeing hiring is great, so I'm glad to see that happening. But yeah, that's my biggest, I just don't wanna see it, all these programs go kinda unused is the biggest thing, because I think you're really trying. I don't feel like it's gonna reach people like my age that I can't get here until later in the evening. I'd love to see programs like the crafter one in the evening for people who like to craft at work, and like a book club maybe, at least. I don't know how well it would be taken in the town, but I'd love to see one for like my age specifically. I know Sheridan, I think, does one that's like 20-somethings or 30-somethings, like that age group specifically, book club. But yeah, no, just maybe some more stuff like that, and hopefully getting those hours opened up would be great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the February 16th, 2022 regular board meeting minutes? Okay. to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second, please.
I'll second it.
Okay, a roll call?
Weber,
Yes.
Fry,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free partner?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to the February 18th, 2022 Policy Committee meeting minutes. Are there any additions or corrections? Okay, a motion please for approval.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, second?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call?
Hobbs,
Yes.
Fry,
Yes.
Appleby,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free partner?
Yes. Okay, the February 19th, 2022 Building and Maintenance Committee minutes. Any additions or corrections? Okay, motion please.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Appleby,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Fry,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free partner?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to Rich and the treasurer's financial report.
All right. So I always start with the investment balance, fund activity, investment balances. Sure, single sheet, that's big grid. Only a couple things to notice on here. We did have another CD that matured on the 26th. That has been, I'm gonna say, renewed for another 3 months. We only got 0.02, if I can read my handwriting here, for 3 months. We went with the 3 months just because we don't know if we're gonna need that money in the future, or what, with everything going on in the world right now, what interest rates are gonna be doing. Because, I mean, the Fed just did something today, so.
They raised them.
Yes. So basically it's gonna mature again, like the beginning of March of no, not the beginning of March, for 5 months. In May, it'll, in the end of May, it'll mature again. And then we'll decide again what we'll do with that $300,000. Speaking is hard
Well-
right now.
While we're looking in that area,
Mhm.
the CD from First Federal, is that correct that we are getting 0.45% on that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty awesome.
That's
That
a good
will-
one. How
that-
did you get that?
Well, that's a 2-year
Mhm.
It's longer.
CD, so it just
So that
got at
is,
the right time.
that was in June of 2020 then, that was, okay. yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
That would be nice to
So
roll
it was just
over.
at the right time, so we'll see when we get closer to that where we're gonna be at. I doubt
Yeah.
we're gonna get that again.
But you
Um,
don't, yeah, you don't know with
What's
the way
going on?
things are.
Everything's all right now. I'm not gonna guarantee a darn thing.
I was
No.
gonna say.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna
Even
promise
under
things.
good times, you can't guarantee it.
No, you can't. So I just going a little more conservative. I'm just making sure that, you know, and one's in special reserve fund and the other one's in the building toward FICA and IMRF funds. So we gotta keep one a little more liquid than we do in the special reserve funds. So in 3 months, we're gonna revisit that CD from First Midwest. Okay? And when in doubt, I'm gonna kinda keep the same schedule that we have been, just for your future knowledge. Unless something changes, I'll keep it at 3 months.
And the other one that will be coming up at this, kind of the same time, May into June, that's at 0.45.
Well, we got 2 of
That
them
we'll
at
just
First
have to play
Feds.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
Yeah.
yeah, 2 of them
did.
there.
We'll see what they're, we do have one at Ottawa Savings Bank that will be up in April.
Oh, yeah, they're,
Well, that's next month.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a
And-
few
monthly
weeks.
0.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it's 3 weeks.
.1 right now, so that's
2.5 weeks.
coming up soon.
Yeah.
So Yana's already working on, we're getting my name on it, so we can go ahead and do it we need to do there, so.
Okay.
And we're just playing them as what they present, you know, and getting with the best offer we can, and going from there. The only other thing on here is, once again, we transferred money out of our our money market to pay expenses. In this case, $60,000.
Right, that's usually.
Okay. And it kind of looks like that'll be pretty standard. Okay. So for this sheet, the financial report, the only thing really to show, excuse me, the only thing really to show here is, just so you know, we're at 66 or 67% through our fiscal year, okay? 2/3 through our fiscal year. But like I always say, that the numbers won't match up, but you can just use it as a rough thumbnail. We brought in revenue basically from printing fees and some minor interest of just over $100. And we dispersed over, well, close to $67,000. And that's pretty typical. We did have some money come into the building fund for train annual fees, and I'll address that. So,
I have a quick question on that.
please.
The postage down there, 400, is that for mailing out the newsletter, or what is that from?
Go ahead.
Can I?
Yes, you can speak to it more precisely.
It's, we canceled our agreement with Pitney Bowes for the line of credit.
Right.
And instead, we just deposit money into our postage machine. So this is just our postage.
So this is
okay, that's right,
preloaded
okay, so you
postage.
reloaded the
We
postage
reload
machine?
when it's time.
I remember that,
And we were
okay.
running low. Yeah, so that's, it will be used, no, this will not be used for the newsletter, because newsletter is coming through a separate channel. But, it's less expensive to go directly to the post
Right.
office. They have different rates, so it will not be used in our postage machine for the newsletter.
Okay. I think we talked the other day and you said that we are gonna be mailing out the current one?
We've decided to, the current one, yes. We've decided to mail this one out.
Yeah.
And to see what kind of, if it would increase our,
Attendance.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
So we haven't thought long term. It's just for this one time, we've decided to mail it and see how it goes, because we feel that we cannot reach everyone through
And I had a lot of
Facebook.
good people talking about how great it was to, and they're pretty, and they come in your mail, and I've gotten lots of good,
Thank
talk
you.
about the.
So if it's
Yeah.
well received, we'll continue.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
On average, what does it cost to mail out those letters, the newsletters?
It costs around $260 to have a membership with the post office in order to get a discount, annual membership. And I'm not sure how much it's going to cost exactly, but it's
Yeah.
between $200 and $300.
And that's to
that-
use the bulk,
The bulk.
Right.
And
Right.
that goes to
Right.
everybody.
It goes to everybody.
but that's
And
just the membership at the
Right.
post office, that's
Right.
not the actual cost.
Right, so that
The-
would be the approximately $200 to $300
Yes.
every month or.
No,
No.
every,
Once a year.
every
No.
3 months.
Every
months.
3 months.
Quarterly, okay,
Yeah, because there's a yearly subscription to be part of this with the post office.
okay.
So
And
that's
then
the
there's,
annual.
what'd you say, 200 to 300-ish?
Yeah.
For me.
Every 3 months to actually physically mail out the
Yeah.
paper.
And it also costs a little bit to print the
I was gonna say,
newsletter.
printing
Yeah.
costs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's reasonable too, and it's better to do it outside because it's a better quality.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, you don't wanna
houses.
print those in
Yeah,
in-house.
you don't want, yeah.
Yeah,
So if
so,
we're gonna do that, make
Is-
that commitment to the post office, then we need to make the commitment to the newsletter.
is this part of your director's report?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
then let's,
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
just,
We'll jump on
The cost for, no, not
Oh,
yet, because we haven't paid for it
Right, we
it will
haven't
be
paid for
in the
I,
next.
I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying that this,
Yeah.
maybe this conversation needs to be in the
Okay,
director's
sorry.
report. It's nothing wrong with that, one
No,
thing leads,
questions are
because one
good.
thing leads to the other.
Always.
Always,
Questions are good.
always.
Okay, that's all I have. Is there any other questions on this part of the treasurer's report? We'll do bills separately. All right, well, if there's no other questions, I'll make a motion to file the treasurer's financial report for audit.
Need a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Let me put in Hobbs. Appleby?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Fry?
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free partner?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So on the bills, there's nothing really outstanding on the bills, or if you got questions, please ask. The only thing I'm gonna point out is our largest bills of note is, we paid $8,000 for our general and WC insurance. And our annual contract with Train, that's our heating people, of $7,000. Everything else tracks pretty much as normal monthly expenses.
WC, is that workman's comp?
Mhm.
I assumed, I just, it was
Yeah.
making sure.
Everything else tracks. I didn't notice anything that I questioned. Does anybody have any questions?
And you got bonded, I see.
Yes, I am
Yes.
bonded.
Okay.
Yay.
Yes, I am bonded. I almost forgot about that.
I had one question, because I
Get
always
it.
have questions. I noticed there was no ComEd bills in this month. Was that just like, was paid on the last one right before? And actually, I should have just looked at that, and I didn't think to. I should
I
have.
know I saw comment bills, but it may have not been.
It may have been, there was a bill, but it may have been
Just missed the cut?
either missed the cut or paid twice, yeah, but there is a bill.
There was a bill and it
Yeah.
fell. I'm just trying to remember how it
I
fell.
think it was, I think that we paid.
I think we had one bill before this
Right,
month
and
and
one after.
one after, because it's a 28-day.
That's what I was gonna say, it's
Oh.
the 28-day
February.
month.
So
I think
they'll
it's
be
the
on March,
28th
there'll be
day.
two,
So
maybe
one
two.
was before.
So March will be
Because I
two.
did see them and I did
Yeah, and I
sign
can
off on
answer
them.
my own question here, because I just looked at last month's, and on January 31st, they were paid, so it just has
Okay.
Oh,
that
so you
funky
you
overlap.
have last month's, yeah.
Okay.
No, I did see them.
Just looked that up
Didn't
myself,
remember the
sorry.
change. All right. Anybody have any questions, questions about dispersed checks or bills?
Oh, that's good.
All right, well then, I will make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
I'll
Make a
second that.
motion.
Oh, Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Fry? Okay. Moved by Appleby and seconded by Fry, so Appleby?
Yes.
Fry?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Kinsella, yes. Free partner?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. I have a few words to say during my president's report. One, we probably need to discuss a director's evaluation and get that in the works. When we hired you, I think we had a whole, rationale for what we wanted as the director. And so we need to get together and work on some of your ideas in and use those standards that we set there to
And you're hiring.
to do the evaluation, so.
How are you, I know this is gonna be addressed in your director's report, but the two, again, go together. How are you coming on your evaluation for the staff?
I have created forms
Okay.
for self-evaluations and for my evaluations of
Okay, so
staff.
you have those forms?
I have those forms, and if you like, they can be used for.
Well, that's what I was going to say. One of the things that I think we wanted to do when we were interviewing, is that we wanted to make sure that the director's evaluation paralleled the staff, as it should.
Right.
And so we were kind of waiting for those to be completed, so that now we can go ahead and take those with your job description that was created when you were hired and put it into an evaluation. It is, I think, the
Yes.
process that makes sense to
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
So between personnel and
Right, yeah.
policy,
And input from you. like
right,
I said.
absolutely,
Yeah.
input from you and everybody else, but I'm thinking if, you know, Margie and I, cause it's kind of an overlap between the two, we can get together with you and look at those.
Sounds good.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what we were
that,
talking about?
that
Okay.
is, what we
Yeah,
discussed
it makes
before the
sense that
meeting,
Yeah.
we're all using the same type of thing. Why reinvent the wheel and come up with something?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing for
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
Well, you've been on the job for over 5 months now, and I think morale is up, and I see that car in the parking lot from before 7:30, and most of the time it's there at 3:30 or 4. You're working well over your 37.5 hours, so much appreciated.
Thank
And
you.
you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely, thank you. And I have had people even comment to me that they love that you're here on Saturday.
Yes, that is a
I think that
bonus.
just is, cause that's, like Faith was saying, a lot of times the people that are working, that's the day they do get in to make copies or check out books, movies, whatever, and, have really appreciated that you're here and that's what they see, and
Thank you.
thrilled with that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah. It's- yeah.
Okay.
And needless to say, we already said it, the newsletter reflects, obviously, the time and dedication that everyone is putting in, and,
Does
yeah.
Michelle mainly do the,
Usually Anna
Michelle,
does,
does
right?
Michelle do
Who-
most of
yeah.
it?
Anna and Liz.
Anna.
And who?
Ann and Liz have been,
Liz.
yes.
Oh, and Liz, oh,
Yes.
good.
Yeah, this is, yeah,
It's appealing to the eye before you ever open it up and start reading it.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And it's easy to read,
It
Yes.
is.
for
Yeah.
old eyes,
It
Yes.
is.
and young ones.
Yeah, no, wonderful job, yeah, thank you.
Okay,
What else
we'll
you-
move.
Did you have anything
Do you
else?
have anything else?
No.
The only other thing I wanted to mention, because I know you attended, was the,
Oh.
the,
Oh, you wanna talk about that?
yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it should be part of, I think, at this point.
Well, it was, due, I think, to Deanna, those, rails.
The Rails, trustee.
Trustee training.
Trustee
Oh, the
training.
trustee
It
trainings.
was Carolyn.
Carolyn,
Well,
wow, thank you,
I saw it,
Carolyn.
and I
It
was
was
like, we
what?
need,
Carolyn found this workshop.
I found those workshops, because it was in the, was it in the IL,
It
they were
was in
sponsored by
ILA,
ILA, and they
yeah.
were in the ILA newsletter, and I'm an ILA member, so I got the newsletter, and I just thought it would be a good thing. I thought it was very
I
interesting.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
you
was
may-
on.
Okay,
I
so
was
some
on.
of us actually
I
did not,
did
but it's
the
all recorded,
webinars,
though, yes.
after
Yeah.
the
It's
program
recorded.
was posted.
So I will.
And then
Yeah.
many of us were there on the
I did
day
pay for two.
and interacting with,
Yeah, you
in the
could
chat room.
type
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
and all
chat.
that kind of stuff.
Yep, yeah.
So, yeah, we've got 2 more to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was awesome. I really did.
And it was not, it was relatable.
It was,
You-
yes,
Yes.
You
that's a good
could,
word.
as a trustee, whether you were
Good word.
a seasoned trustee or brand new,
Yeah, I was
right
gonna
out
say.
of the box, what am I getting into? They really made it very approachable and relatable that you could, you know.
So, question, at this point in time, can one just go in on the rails and
It's ILA,
do?
that was
oh,
from ILA.
If
Can
they're
you-
registered.
If they're registered,
Oh, okay,
they have
so
to
that's
send you
what
a
I mean.
link.
So just,
If you have a link provided to you, you could, through your email.
Right.
so as just a person in the community, you
No.
can't get on?
No.
No.
Okay,
Because
so it's all
there was a
registered.
fee.
Yeah.
There was a
Well,
fee.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
$40
was-
fee, but I thought, once the webinar was posted on the,
No.
no.
Well, and they did say that, you know, that if you, if
Like,
you go back and watch
right,
it now that
I can go back
you're
and watch
registered.
it, cause I'm registered.
Yeah, and
Well,
they
see, and
said
I
not,
didn't-
they asked not to, share
Not
it,
to share it.
because obviously there's
Oh,
a
okay.
fee.
Oh, it said
They're
right
paying
on there,
someone to
please
do
don't
that.
share it. I didn't have an opportunity to do it when it was coming because I ended up having grands that morning, so.
Yeah.
But I have watched it and took notes and looked through the handouts. The handouts were very, very
Yes.
good.
The handouts are awesome.
And
Yes.
where the handouts came from, some they created and some were from other places, which then means that we can go to those for more information. So I thought that was very good. So I just wanted to
No, we
have a
needed
little.
that. It was wonderful.
I had a little conversation about it and hopefully we can all attend the next two as well.
So we're up to the director's report.
As you know, we advertise a new library page position on Rails and the library website. The deadline to apply is this Friday. One staff member who worked every other Saturday resigned, and we created new library employment application form for Seneca, which we can reuse in the future. We are in the process of developing job description and annual performance evaluation forms. When I wrote the report, they were not ready, but they're almost ready right now. We can say that they've been developed, they're ready to go. And I plan to schedule meetings with, one-on-one meetings with staff next week to discuss the job descriptions and the whole process and explain how we're going to move forward. Trustees are attending a series of workshops. There are 3 of them: Illinois Library Trustees, What the Job and How Do I Do It, Library Director Evaluation, and Streamlining the Budget Process. We have produced March-May edition of the Librarian newsletter. It will be mailed out for better community outreach. Reached out to school to promote library programs. We are exploring the possibility to coordinate our programming efforts with the Seneca Park Board. Our summer reading camping themed program is almost here. It will run from early June and early August. Exploring the possibility to increase library hours. The preliminary plan is to increase hours on Tuesdays. Because I had a conversation with a member of the park board, and we might be able to offer a joint program, and they need space, they need a room on Tuesdays, possibly. It's not set in stone, there are just discussions. But, and it all ties to our staffing. If we can hire a page who could work late on Tuesdays, we'll only need 1 staff member, in addition to the new page. So we'll see how it goes, but because of how park board sees it, we might start with Tuesdays at 8. So we are looking into this, and today Anna has a program for for kids at 6 story time.
A slumber
I
Yes.
baby. It's cool,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm a little disappointed I'm not in my pajamas.
I attended Exelon negotiations meeting with other local taxing district representatives. Along with 2 people, I was appointed to the negotiation committee with Exelon.
How did you get so lucky?
Next meeting of the negotiation committee will be held in late March or early April. There are, we'll discuss it later, but that we have it under old business as well. We are in the process of setting up live streaming of the Board of Trustees meetings, and there are a couple of options, and it looks like we are going to use Facebook Live. We plan to meet with I plan to meet with 2 staff members who are helping me to research how this would work, and
If you have questions, I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done that, and I've done YouTube Live, so
Well,
either
and
one.
during the pandemic, we had staff that was doing Facebook Live story time
Oh,
and
did it?
book reviews and things.
Yeah,
I
Anna did
remember that,
Facebook Live
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, they had like,
I talked to Anna about it, but she used her own she just used her own phone at home to do it, but it's not hard.
We could set it up with the equipment or get cheap equipment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
The only
Yeah,
thing that,
yeah.
the only
Done
thing
it
that I
last time.
wanna make sure works is sound.
Sound.
We
Yeah.
always have trouble
Okay.
with sound.
We need to upgrade this.
That's what I'm
hands
saying.
down.
We need to upgrade our sound,
Yep.
but otherwise, it's easy to do. 'Cause
Yes,
I've done it
it's
too.
It's really easy. We could have it set up, so it's
Yeah.
in here.
Well,
There we go.
actually, we probably need to have better sound just in this room to the audience, or to the public.
oh, like when they do movies and stuff in here too, it's kind of
Well,
a.
Or
when they come
when
to
we're
When
talking.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we're talking,
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's hearing what, as well as they should
I'm
be.
hard of hearing anyway, so I
Yeah.
figure I'm missing, yeah, it's just me, but,
Well, good.
and
There's
what
your,
I-
there's your resource right there.
Yes.
And while
Yeah, I'd be happy to
we're
work.
on that, when we do that, can we do the opposite angle? Where, the actual focus or the view is all of the trustees as opposed to the public?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Makes
ideally,
sense.
that's the way it
Because
should be.
really,
Good
when you
idea.
watch
Yeah.
what we do now, Paul is often cut off, and I'm
Exactly, and
halfway
it's
cut
hard
off,
to see
and
you,
you're
too.
cut off.
Yeah.
And so if you watch them, and really
Yeah.
they're watching the board, they don't, not that you aren't lovely, but,
Yeah, the focus should be,
Yeah.
Right.
so a
Yeah.
different focus. So,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Yep.
go ahead.
I'll do it.
We signed a 60-month lease and maintenance contract with Marco to replace old and clunky printers that were in the circulation area, and they want another printer in my office. Our monthly maintenance cost will go down from $178 to $99. And we have new printers which provide better security, and they've been already installed. We are looking at replacing an overhead projector in the
Mhm.
cultural center to improve movies quality. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's too dark, and when people come here to watch movies, it should be better than at home.
Right.
And Rich is helping us with.
Yeah, that's too old.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
that's-
We've created a library technical equipment inventory. Allison has worked on it, and it's done. The heat exchanger has been replaced. We've repaired the back deck, so it doesn't have dangerous edges where people can trip in the
It looks
back.
really nice too,
Is
if
it,
anybody wants
is
to
that the
look.
concrete slab that's back there you're talking about? Okay.
It's been repaved and leveled, so it's the same level. And there was
Blocks.
another piece of metal that was sticking out, and it was
Ooh,
pushed
okay.
in, and we've done it. It didn't cost us much, and it was completed a couple of weeks ago, so that's done. Painted walls in the cultural center, created chalk magnetic wall in the children's area, and acquired magnets and chalk for kids to play. The area seems to be used well. We have children coming in and playing. We are working with our vendor to address heating. There is a heating issue in the cultural center. We turned off the heat, and we'll have to. They were here yesterday, and they've determined what the issue was, and they've made a recommendation that we'll have to replace a panel that sends signals, communicates, sends temperature from the cultural center to their main panel, main program, and it has to be replaced. It will be under $2,000. And it will take a couple of weeks for them to get those parts.
Is the air conditioning tied in with that, or is that separate?
Separate.
Okay, well, timing's good.
It's separate, yeah.
And is that Kennedy's that is doing that?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's not under warranty, there is no warranty.
Yeah.
I asked, it cannot, we can't
Yeah.
get anything else. It's an okay deal.
Yeah, okay. It's gotta be done, it was bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Just bad the other day when I was in here,
It's just bad.
And in late April, we'll be hosting the support administrators and libraries sale meeting here at Seneca.
I
yeah.
saw
That
that.
is cool.
It's time we host more meetings.
Yay.
Maybe go down and get some hamburgers or something.
Yes. They asked me, oh, do we have restaurants? I said, of course, next door we'll go, we have best hamburgers.
Yeah, there we go.
Door. Yeah.
That's hamburgers in town.
Yeah. Professional development. 4 librarians attended Copyright for Librarians webinar. For a certification webinar, or more certification webinar, which the state repaired their website, and now we can.
Right, I completed mine,
Yeah,
because we all
I
have to
got
do the
mine.
OMA.
So you
Yeah.
can get on and do the
Yes.
OMA.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need, yeah.
Try
that's
to
what
do
I
it
was-
in one sitting because it
Yes.
does lose track.
Oh, doesn't, I did it
Yeah,
in
you
one.
have to forward, and you have to redo the scenarios.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
walk away for 2 hours, yeah,
Okay,
I
so we
learned that
all-
too, the hard way.
Yes, I learned it the hard way.
So, if somebody hasn't,
The trustees only need to do it once. You
Oh,
don't
We
have-
only
need to
you
do it
don't have
one
to
time.
do
You only
it.
have to do it once?
Yes,
Oh,
if you've
think
done
I'm
it,
done.
that's it.
Oh, okay. It's
Staff-
not annually then?
It's
No.
not annual.
Yeah, well, it doesn't change that much then
no,
there.
but I had not done it.
I hadn't
I was
either,
gonna
but I
Because it
haven't
was
either.
down, and so I imagine, Jen, you're the one who needs to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a cost if we want to do the FOIA one?
No.
Okay.
I did the FOIA one too, but it did not give me a certification.
I think
Because
did
I was
one.
thinking,
If
Right.
it didn't, we
You know,
have a
my spare
contact
time.
there. we
I
can-
know,
Okay, so
right?
we can go do that.
Sometime this
'cause
summer I
I might do that
Or
because.
fall, do it, just.
Yeah, I might do it too, I just find it
But I did do
interesting.
the FOIA one too. I've done all these before in my
Yeah.
previous boards, so it's my
Yeah.
third time through with all of these, but figured what the heck, I'll do it for here.
Yeah.
And I was home, I was sick, and I had nothing better to do.
You were bored. Yeah, you were bored.
I was really bored, I was bored with COVID.
One librarian attended Design the Post-Pandemic Library webinar, and I went to Bolingbrook for the support administrators and library meeting, which was very useful. I
I'm
met
sure.
Fellow directors, and we all shared our stories, and
Wonderful.
73 people attended our programs in February. We had, the highest number was Anime Club Julia going away party. We had 15 children, teenagers here. For her, the cookie decorating with Bacon Spirits Bride was well received, and the last minute several people were not able to attend, and we reached out the same morning to those who were on the waiting list.
Yeah,
Anyway, we had 12 people, and we're
Okay.
going to repeat it.
I saw that.
Bookcopoly, we call it passive program.
Right.
It's Anna's, term. And we had 40 times played. Now,
Good.
yeah.
And is that kind of done online, or is
No,
that
No,
here
it's
presently?
in here,
I
you
kinda
actually
looked
throw
at
it, yeah. I did
It's
not
really-
participate, cause I
it's
didn't come
really
in very
cute.
often. You did.
I didn't have enough time.
participated, I mean,
Oh,
I was,
okay. It looked fun, yeah.
It was
happily.
really an eyeball pleaser to look and see that. It
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
Oh, yeah, I cheated.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, I didn't think it through, you know, I read a tremendous number of books, but I didn't read them in the right order. Shame on me.
Two book clubs. One is adult book club. 11 items were requested. Those items are offered to us through our library system. So we don't buy 11 copies. And 11 copies were checked out by our patrons. 4 people attended. Mystery Book Club meets outside the library, and 10 items were requested, checked out. We don't know how many people attended, but just, yeah.
But you provided those
We
materials.
provided
Right,
materials.
you did the
Right.
interlibrary loan for those materials.
It was
Yeah.
just held Tuesday night, yesterday.
Print book AV circulation by transaction type, self-explanatory. February numbers were actually higher than January, which
Mhm.
is, February usually is kind of slow
Yeah.
month.
And it's a
Yeah.
shorter month,
And
it's
it's
got
a
those
short
last
Yeah, it's
couple of
busy.
It
days.
could have been
Yeah.
cabin fever, it's
Good-
time to
that-
get out and
yes.
do.
Yeah.
Well, the whole COVID
Or,
relaxing
yeah.
of,
Yeah.
restrictions.
Restrictions, yeah.
Mhm.
Overtime was great.
Oh, God, yes.
Interlibrary loan, same pattern. We
Mhm.
loan more than we borrow.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not sure that that's such a horrible issue either.
Yeah. We had 4 requests. 4 requests submitted for review by community members to the Office of Attorney General. Last year, there were 3 reviews, and there were 0 violation rulings for the library. And last year there were 4 reviews. This year there were 3 reviews.
Already.
And once again, they ruled that we did not we didn't break any laws.
No violations.
No violations, yeah.
Violations.
And miscellaneous statistics, 12 library cards issued.
Wow.
In February, which is a good number
really
compared
That's
to
good
really
number.
good, yeah.
previous month. Yeah.
Are you finding that people who, when they were not coming in through COVID, are now, are these new, or are these renewals that have lapsed, or do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder, just because I'm finding with IO memberships that happened a lot. People let them lapse because of the chaos of the pandemic. And now they're coming
Now
and
they're
going,
coming.
yeah, and now they're going, wait a minute,
That
I wanna
makes
use the
sense.
library again, and it doesn't matter, they're cards, people coming in to use. It was just a curiosity.
I heard from my office, I heard
Right.
some conversations, and I
Right.
heard that there were a couple of times people were renewing their cards which expire.
Right.
But I'm not sure about the
How that
rest.
It does,
plays in
yeah,
there.
it doesn't matter, it was just kind of a curiosity. We have to kind of let the last 2 years' statistics not
Yeah.
cloud what we do.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
I mean, something to look at, but not cloud what we do.
Can I ask you a couple of questions about the programs, which are fantastic? Loving to see a lot of new ideas and stuff. The sign outside, are we limited as far as what can go on there now?
Yes, you
I-
mean
I-
the
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 library-
electronic.
The electronic sign?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, and this will need to be addressed at some point. It's very limited with how many, what we can put there, how long we can have, there is a certain number of characters that only can be put in, and
Okay.
and it sounds like we'll have to do something with it.
Well,
I have,
That sign has a
Yeah.
manufacturing date of 2006.
Right, I remember we
Okay.
talked about before that the
Uh-huh.
software was
And
like
the
not.
software is really old, it's the old Watchfire software.
So
It
just leave it.
stinks to work with.
Well, we were just lucky that, when we had that power outage, that the thing came
yeah,
back
but
on.
then it reset itself,
I mean,
yeah,
we've been
you
so
were
lucky.
lucky there.
I
I mean, 'cause
just-
this, we're talking $20-some thousand, are we
Right,
not?
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember
Easy.
I was at the grade school
Easy.
when they bought that sign, and I just about fell off my chair when,
Yeah.
how much does a lighted sign cost? Cause it's the
Yeah.
software,
They are,
it's the maintenance.
It's the software, it's the
yeah.
maintenance.
And I
Oh,
just,
good
somebody
enough.
had asked me, why the programs weren't, cause it used to be, you could sit there and you could see it, and I said, I don't think that's available anymore.
It's not
Okay,
available.
yeah, and that makes sense, that,
And I think we'll need to start looking at options
think so.
before
Before
it
it
breaks
happens.
down.
Well, yeah, before it completely
We'll-
dies.
At least we'll know where to go when,
Yeah,
if
a plan.
it happens,
It's
yes.
a plan B
Yeah,
when.
look for some options.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And then, can I don't know if this is appropriate or what, a suggestion on the programs, when, they share them on Facebook,
Mhm.
to, maybe do one a week ahead of time, and then another one, like a reminder, a couple days beforehand. Because like sometimes seeing on Facebook a new program that comes up on Tuesday and it's for Friday, especially for the kids ones, parents today, their calendars are so
Yeah.
crowded that that's not really kind of enough notice to plan to do that. And, I just kinda
Sounds
thought if
good.
there's a
Yeah.
reminder earlier on.
Well, if Tuesday was the reminder and the week,
Right,
Like
they
a
need
week
to-
before,
yeah.
the first one comes out, cause though this is fantastic, like say, not everybody has this in their hands, and, I'm trying to think what the last one was, cause I work with teachers at the school who have little kids that live here in town, and, a couple have said to me that they saw it and they're like, had I known that, I would've planned for it, because they really wanna get their kids in here and start, really participating, they want them to do the reading program this summer and stuff, and, but the way life is now, man,
Very busy.
you do your calendar a month ahead of time sometimes, and, to put something on the calendar a couple days ahead of time is just not enough notice. So,
How
just an
firm
idea.
are those deadlines? I mean, people come in and sign up for programs, and, is there some
can sign up until-
flexibility there
oh,
for?
yes.
Some programs, we don't have deadlines for
Yeah.
some programs. We had a deadline for bacon program.
Yeah, the bigger ones like that, I
Because
can see.
she-
There were materials.
Yes, she
Yeah, they
needed
need to know what to
buy,
bring.
and we didn't want to commit to 20 sets, and if only 10 people signed, and we
Right.
had to give, actually some time
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
prepare.
'cause she brought all the cookies and all the frosting,
Right.
and she needs to know how much, yeah, that
Right.
makes sense, yeah.
And for other programs, if, let's say we have robots, we have a certain number
Mhm.
of them, that's when
Yeah.
we ask to sign, but
Yeah.
most of the time, we don't.
Okay. Yeah, they look like a lot of fun. The STEM ones, the robots, the stuff,
are
and
popular.
the
Yeah.
Maniac,
Oh, they are
Maniac
very
Club.
popular,
Yeah.
Good choice, very good. So anything else? Okay.
Did you talk about what's coming in a year or two is fixing the curb?
Oh,
Yeah.
is that building?
Oh,
What?
Building and maintenance.
It-
Yeah, no, I just,
But
sorry,
it's
I just was-
something, just,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
just,
just
I just found out, when, 2 days ago,
yeah, it's just
that the curbs in front of the library, will be repaired within 2 years.
so the state says.
So there were people.
Don't hold your breath on that.
There were people here from the state a couple of days ago, they were here today again, and they were surveying, and it's tied, this job is tied to the bridge
Oh,
somehow.
no.
That's what they told me.
You're talking the bridge that's out across, on south of town?
Yes, it will be done at the same time.
No,
No?
cause the bridge south of town is owned by the city. Main Street is state highway. The city is paying for that
And it-
bridge, but cause we live on Main Street too, and they had to come and do some stuff in our front yard recently. And they are surveying for repairing a lot of things on Main Street, but it's the state that is taking
Right.
care of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they thought that they were taking care of the bridge too. But, okay, as long as
may-
they
they
take
may be
care of
using the
our.
same company.
It might be
Oh,
the same company.
It
It
could
might
be.
be the same
It
company
might-
doing
But
it,
it's
and you
not
got
in the
two
same
bids.
time frame.
Okay.
Because they're
Sorry, I did
repairing the
that out
bridge
of
right
order.
now.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't know if that was maintenance or not, but it's not. It's director.
It's just news.
Just news.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it
that's-
is part of our maintenance, we have
Right.
talked about in maintenance,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah.
she got the news, so she
There we
gets
go.
to
She
share.
I bet that's what it is. It's the same,
It's probably the same, it's
same
probably,
company.
Maybe.
You know, I don't know who's doing.
Who
is Dee
knows? You'll
doing
learn
it?
more as it comes.
Is Dee doing?
Let's just hope
Who's
it's,
doing
not
it?
I can't
at
think of the
end
name off the top of my
2
head
years.
right now,
Oh,
but
I
they have
see.
started it, like they
Yeah.
are pouring concrete, they are starting it, that
Thank
bridge, right?
goodness.
Well, let's move
I don't
on
even
to
Anyway, but-
our committee reports here.
But that's the deal with,
Um,
yeah, the curb.
Anything for personnel?
Welcome, Jen, to Personnel Committee. We have not had a meeting, this past month, but that doesn't mean that we're not, haven't been looking at the personnel, handbook and kind of working on some of that. Jen and I are gonna hopefully meet here in the next, week or so. I will let you know when that is gonna be set, but, to start kind of working through, the handbook a bit more. I need to get some clarification though. The HR source is not what we're currently bound to. That is,
No,
that
that's
is
never been
they-
approved.
They've
Right.
done.
It's a working document that we can change, we can adapt, we can, okay. And so the current one that is, used is the one that you had just sent, that is the policy handbook
2016.
from 2016. Okay, and then, yeah, the idea is that we're gonna
Cross.
kind of smush those all together, have one policy handbook, portion of it will be personnel, portion will be patron, all that. But it will be concise into one book, living, breathing document that will be adjusted, changed, and so on. So, yeah, so we're plugging away at it. I will be the first to say that last month I have not done a lot of work on it. I've been very, very busy.
Well, I was so disappointed to find out from Yana that HR Source was finished. You know,
Yeah.
they presented us with that
Yeah.
document, and I understood that we put all our changes, and then they were going to do something with that.
No.
But
I don't think-
no,
yeah.
it's up to us, so.
Yeah.
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 And that's
we're-
fine, I mean, we have the document, we can go in and adapt and
Those were
remove and
recommendations
add,
that
yeah.
we were,
Yeah, they could be
they were
recommendations.
recommendations by HR Source from our policy manual, that then we have to decide which we're going to accept and then vote on, bring to the board through personnel.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
told the other though, that we
Ah.
did, and then they were going to come back with a finished document. No.
Well, and
I
that
know-
may
I
have
know
been
that.
some
I'm sure
they would
miscommunication
for-
somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere along the line, yep.
That was just disappointing. So anything else, Margie?
Other than that, no.
Okay, Carolyn, policy?
We're continuing to work on the eligibility to borrow policy. We're getting much closer to that. The plan is for it to hopefully come to the board for next approval. We're meeting on Friday. We may have to meet, or a couple of us get together to put the finishing touches on that. So, that's the next one that we're really going to work on really hard. We're analyzing patron policies for updating. We talked in policy about the community online access for board meetings, and so that's working forward now that Rich especially has offered his expertise. There was you
Yep,
said.
I did.
I have to keep my mouth shut.
We were also talking about
Thank you.
updating of the mission, vision, and goals. That came up as a new business in our last meeting, and that was part of the trustee
Training.
Training,
Yeah.
sorry, I was
Yeah.
using manual. The trustee training that we just had, so I think I'm hoping, as we talked at our committee meeting, that this is something that needs to be done in the next few months, not tomorrow, not next month, but possibly by the end of the summer. Summer is so busy within the district, within the library, that, toward the end of the summer, which will probably mean, more time, a longer retreat, some homework to get things done. Also a discussion, and we need to think about whether or not we want to hire an outside group, or whether we think that we can do it ourselves. I've done those with outside groups, and sometimes they're so generic that it's hard to do. It's a thought, it's just something that I wanna put out there for discussion, we can discuss now, we can think about it, we'll bring it up again, and make some more concrete decisions on it, but those really need to be something that, as they said in that training, that when you're out and about in the community and somebody says, well, what are you doing, what are you doing over there? You know what your mission and your vision are, you
Yeah.
have your goals, and they haven't been looked at for a number of years. Lynn, you said you remember when you did a retreat.
We did a retreat here with all the principals and
Yeah.
we did people.
Oh.
And we should have that here,
Yes.
a copy of that.
Oh, yeah, we have that. I mean, it's in our, it's there. It's just that
It's just been a long time since we looked at it.
right, and it needs to be updated, and it needs to be redone, and it needs to be,
Are you meaning like the principals of the area schools
We're
and people
here
from
and-
the community,
Yes,
like the
we're here,
Well,
yeah.
see, and
village
that's-
and stuff like that?
that's just it. It
And
needs
all
to be a-
working together with the same kind
And
of
they came up with,
vision
you know,
down the road.
yeah. I mean, it's something that it needs to be done with the trustees, but I also really firmly believe, and Lynn said prior, we did it that way, the library did it that way, that there has to be some community involvement.
yeah.
I mean, my vision is not necessarily everybody
Yeah.
else's vision.
Right.
Any more input?
So, that's something, it's a long term, but hopefully we can get it done. Is we're
And-
all thinking.
And part of smashing of these policy books, the very first thing on there is kind of the mission statement.
Oh, it is, your
And what is
mission-
the purpose of the library within the
Your
community.
mission and vision and your goals.
And that's
goals.
what molds your policies and your.
Yes.
Right.
That has to be set forth before you can dive into the policies.
Yeah.
Cause that's how you direct what happens.
Right, how do you
Right.
make patron policies if you don't know what your vision
What your
for-
vision is or what
for
your goal
patron-
is.
we
So
worked
I-
for days and days on mission statements.
Oh, I
I
can
know,
believe
you
it, I can
can't.
believe
It
it,
was
yeah.
You can't.
months that we did it, we didn't do it every day, but every time we had one of those special meetings, it was hours and hours.
And that's something that I think we need to think about how much we want to do with that. Do we wanna do surveys? Do we wanna have long meetings? Do we want to just, send something out to the community members and ask for input back? I mean, these are all, like I said, I got a lot more questions than answers.
Yeah. Well, and I think we also have to realize that, I think anyway, especially the last 10 years, the purpose of a library in the community has changed.
Oh,
dramatically.
You know, it used to be you came to the library to write term papers and to get information. Well, now we all hold that in our hand. So what services and what's available for the community through the library has evolved, and it's not what it used to be, so we have to change along with that, and the number one purpose is to provide things for the community, and
What are those?
yeah, we.
What is our,
it's
so,
ch- it-
so
yeah,
like
those
I
things
said,
have
I think it's
changed.
something that each of us need to think about, and then we need to think about how is the best way to get that information from our other stakeholders, our community members, our schools, our park board, our village, Mazan, all of those people that we
Milton
come
Pope.
through, yes.
Yeah, that's true too.
Oh, yes.
Our sales.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
have those people all feed into this
Yeah.
district. So, like I said, a lot more questions than answers, but I think it's something that will be good for us to, as trustees, to work on. So, that was my last part of policy. Yeah.
So we'll move, on to building and maintenance.
There's
Just,
a lot going on.
Yeah,
In
did you
your
see
minutes
the
here?
paper? Where's the paper? Oh, no.
Yeah, I was just gonna grab
You
it
get
for a
it?
reminder.
There it is.
Really, we pretty
Where
much,
did
yeah.
we put it? Oh, there we go.
See,
Do you wanna do it, Lynn?
yeah.
It would be, oh, here it is. Oh no, it should have been right after those
And-
minutes. Not that.
Here,
There,
here's
right
mine.
there.
Right there.
All right.
Yep.
And the new business is the heat exchanger will be replaced, it has been?
Yes.
It has
Yes,
been
yeah,
replaced.
Okay, done.
And painted the wall in the cultural center.
That's done.
That's done.
Boom, boom.
And we have
This one.
roof waiting for us,
Still waiting.
still waiting, okay. Windows, material is on back order, of course, as so many things are on
Okay.
back order. NICOR, Yes,
ready.
finished? Are they finished?
The big part has been finished, but there are smaller areas that
Okay.
they need to take care
Out
of.
in the parking lot, they
that's
got the
great.
biggest square done, but then there's,
They
Little
just,
squares.
I hope they would
It's-
stop by and we could discuss the rest of the work that needed, but they
Right.
just left and now they need to come back. But, yeah, so we're trying to get them back, but the main problem has been fixed.
Yes, well, that's good.
yes, you can drive over it now without going mobile.
No, we didn't.
yeah.
Yeah. The back deck, said leave it,
That's done.
it's
Yes,
fine,
it's done.
not bad coming up on a carpet.
Oh,
Carpet.
flagpole, we are waiting for the vendor to tell us, we need a replacement part, because we cannot pull it. And
Oh.
we don't know which part we need, so we're waiting for him to tell us what we need to buy.
The flagpole
Yeah.
right out here?
Yeah.
The other
Yeah,
one
there's
is
like a
not
pulley
ours, is
system.
it?
The other one is not ours.
Okay.
We tried to, we thought we found someone with equipment who would just replace the flag without fixing what's inside, but it was too short. and he
Oh,
couldn't reach
shoot.
it. But it's underway, and I hope we'll get it done sooner rather than later. It needs to be done.
And most of the other stuff is just, we gotta wait till spring.
That's right.
There's a lot of things waiting for spring.
Yeah.
There's,
We're removing this carpet in the culture center?
no,
Oh,
no.
it says carpet in the
Oh.
culture center
that-
removed.
That had, we hit, in the
In the-
closet, we had
Oh.
a big roll of carpet.
Oh, I thought it was this carpet on the
No.
floor.
No. At
Me
one
too, I
time-
thought too, well,
at
cause
one
I
time we
remember
were
there was
concerned.
one,
Oh, there was
Wasn't-
an issue with this, it got
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
wet and everything
It got
this
wet,
last
but-
summer.
yeah, when it got so humid in here.
It was awful, it was all bubbled,
We-
and I didn't know.
We're keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
And we have an agreement with Terrain. If it happens again, we'll let them know if it happens, when it
Okay.
happens, so they'll try to determine why.
Okay,
Yeah.
But it hasn't, it's been okay so far.
okay.
Well, the carpet removal there
Oh.
now makes the closet usable for
Okay, I thought
storage.
it was the carpet on the floor, and I
No.
thought, oh, it
No.
must be moldy underneath or something, so.
Yeah, so far, so good.
So far, so, okay, thank you for that clarification.
No growing mushrooms, so.
Yeah, I hope not.
The architect beams, is that the ones right out here
Mhm.
above the
green
door?
ones out here.
Okay,
They desperately need.
somebody
They
mentioned that to me
sandblasted
too, and
and
I'm like,
painted.
Yeah.
it's on the list, it's on the
Yeah.
list.
This is our list, and,
Yeah.
well, Jana's got all this list in progress at some,
Yeah.
Good,
Okay.
Not
good,
all of
thank
it,
you.
but
but
some of it.
it's starting in progress, or we know in spring we're going to
Yeah.
paint metal
Oh, yeah.
posts.
And there's not much
Spring,
you
summer.
can do when people won't call her back either.
Oh,
Or
well, that's
when things
typical.
are pushed off, if people don't have the
Yeah.
Well, like you said,
stuff.
the material to fix the windows, is that like the caulking and stuff?
Yes, it's not it's
You
it's
can't
not
even
a-
get it.
We can't
Right.
get it.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
ordered it, we're waiting for it.
Right.
Yep. Okay,
Okay. Shall we move on to finance?
all right.
Okay, well, once again, no finance meeting this month because I got myself sick with COVID.
Now you can tell me.
So, what we need to do soon, like very soon, because these last 2.5 months have been stupid for me, I need to get with Carolyn, and we gotta have a cross-finance policy committee for financial policies, okay?
And the next appointee
And I
has
need
to go
another
on your
person.
committee.
Yeah, I'll need a person because Ann was my person, and no, she's not
Just like
my
Grace and
person
Andy?
anymore.
Your person?
I know, when I say that, it's like, wait a minute, that sounds too familiar, but you know what I mean. She was on the finance committee, now she's not anymore. As far as actual finance stuff, the core stuff, we don't have to worry about budgets for a couple more months and stuff like that. So my key focus will be the cross meetings with policy.
Okay.
So we can
get
talk
to-
about that
You can
really
email,
soon.
call, okay,
Within the next week, let's set up a date or two.
that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Because no more getting sick, I'm not gonna get sick again.
Oh, we hope not. Okay, we'll move on to old business, and first up is Exelon negotiations.
Mhm.
there hasn't been any progress done. The first two meetings were just to form a committee to, we had a presentation last time from Reed Law Firm, and what the handout that all of you have, it came from him. And he said that LaSalle Station was never under any threat of closure, and he doesn't think that it is under any threat. This is just a background information about other plans and what to expect with dates. It looks like we don't have to increase or change our levy. There isn't much we need to do at this point. I'll attend those negotiations and we'll try to get a higher valuation for those plans. This is the idea for the committee, but there isn't much to report at this time. And I'll bring back new information when I have it.
Well, I think it's fabulous that we have, our entity has a person on the negotiating committee. I mean, that's a first, I am sure. The schools have been predominant, with everything concerning that.
Well, I mean, the schools are the biggest shareholder.
Right,
of
yeah,
this,
yeah.
Right.
But it's good that Hannah's in there.
Yes,
And-
thank you
and-
for doing that.
And this
My
lawyer,
pleasure.
Stu Witt, excellent. I can't say much more about.
Well, I thought this document was very
It
informative.
was, yeah, it was interesting to read.
I would think that Stu Witt and his son are the experts in the
Everything,
US.
yeah.
You know Stu Witt, so, the experts in the US, and the whole negotiating, so we're in good hands.
There we go.
Very good. Okay, we'll move on to dissolving the AUP committee. I see no reason to have the committee anymore. We've got our report, and so we just need, any discussion concerning it, though.
I do. I kind of feel like, right, we're done with the AUP, report. But technically, the library is still under investigation. So I think it would,
Doesn't
mean-
have anything to do with the AUP, though.
no, but the AUP committee is really an audit committee, not just the agreed upon procedures with Lauterbach and Amen. They're an audit committee. So my thought is that since we are still under investigation, if there are questions, if there are concerns, or if something comes up, it's in our best interest to still have a committee in place to deal with that, rather than dumping it all on Yana and having.
Rich is the only remaining member of the AUP committee because
If-
Ann was.
Yeah, because Ann was the other member.
And not that, I don't think that, I don't.
If you're thinking we need somebody, and I'm just trying to put words in your mouth, I'm just trying to rephrase so I can understand.
Yep.
So you're thinking we need somebody on the board, or a committee from the board, to deal with any investigation things that come up?
Yeah.
For lack of better words?
Yeah, basically.
So it's not really an AUP committee.
No,
It would
we
be a
need to
new
rename
committee.
it, maybe.
It'd be a new committee. And I'd be happy to do that because I am in discussions with the police in the last
Yeah,
month,
he's been
so,
talking to them.
So have I.
so,
I'll
yeah,
tell you that.
so there we go.
I think there should be a point.
If we
People-
want a
point
point
person.
person,
Or people,
Um,
there needs to be somebody available if those things come up.
Yeah.
And
That's
so that
aware
the
of-
investigation knows who to contact.
Yeah. So maybe it's a matter of renaming that committee then,
That
and
may
just
be-
calling it.
or dissolve it and create a new committee.
Well, we could dissolve it and create a new
I would create a
one.
new committee, honestly.
Sounds like you're working, so maybe the.
I don't need to take over, but I have been doing it.
Yeah.
She has been doing it.
No, what, we could do it
And we
together.
can work well
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
from past
Absolutely.
experience.
So,
I think that would
let's have
work
a
well.
motion to dissolve the AUP committee. Okay, and then in the meantime, we need to have a name for the new committee.
Well, we won't be able to form a new committee tonight
Oh,
because it's an
no, we
action
can't.
item.
That's an action item.
Yep.
Well, it's under old business.
It's dissolving. It doesn't say anything about
Yeah,
doing
we
a new
can't
one.
form- we
Oh,
can't
form a
that's
new
true.
one.
No,
No.
we can't do the new one, no.
But that doesn't mean we still can't do what we've been doing. but
You've
it's not
been
in the
doing
same-
it, but then
it's
it will
not
be
been
in
an
our,
official
yeah,
capacity.
yeah.
But we can set up an official capacity for next month.
Okay.
How about
okay,
that?
So, Jan will get that on the agenda.
It'll be on the agenda for next month.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep, it does.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
As long as we form that new committee. I just
Oh,
think
yeah.
that we need that,
absolutely,
we
yeah.
need that point person for the investigation.
If you
Or
feel
people.
Yeah,
we need
just
I
think
do.
over a proper name for it too. I don't want it to be investigation
No,
committee.
no,
'cause
no,
that
I don't
sounds-
either.
No.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
We have a month.
If we still need it in a month.
Yeah,
We
we
shall
may
see.
not, we may not.
We shall
I
see.
don't see this wrapping up anytime soon with them.
I don't see how it can continue going. We'll discuss.
I don't either.
We'll
More
discuss.
siding with Rich
Yeah.
more than-
But you maybe have been hearing different things.
Oh, I guarantee you, we've been hearing different things.
And that's why I think a committee is a good thing to do.
So,
That's why I don't want to, I want to have that.
no,
point person.
I definitely
I
want
think it is
somebody
very
else to,
important.
and
Yeah.
Margie's a perfect person,
I
because she'll
agree.
tell me what she thinks.
Well, and I've been in it from the get-go, so,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I think it'll work well.
Okay, so we need a motion then to dissolve the AUP committee.
Oh, please, I'll make that motion.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay.
It's
roll call.
been moved by Appleby and seconded by Hobbs to dissolve, I wanna make sure I have this right, to dissolve the AUP committee.
Can we add to that with the understanding that there will be a new committee formulated in April?
Can we do that?
Yeah,
I don't
we
know if you can
can,
do
we just,
that.
what?
I don't care.
Yeah, we
Well-
can amend the motion.
No,
Do
no,
whatever you
no,
like.
it hasn't, well, it's
Yeah.
an action item though. Would that be considered an action item? And you cannot add action items.
We will do it, we will do it.
Okay.
So let's stick.
I
with
get your
the,
point, though.
let's
I
stick
do-
with
I
the
do get your
original.
point.
Okay.
I get your point. Okay, so, we have the motion on there, moved by Appleby and seconded by Hobbs to dissolve the AUP committee. Okay, roll call vote. Appleby,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Fry,
Yeah.
Free Partner,
Yes.
Kinsella, yes.
Okay, under new business, the discussion concerning new trustee, resume deadline, interviews and appointment. I had asked Deanna to kind of like highlight the need for trustees, and now that the resignation has been accepted, we can post that we need a new trustee. And we set a deadline of what, April sixth, and that's as far as we have gone right now, so. I have a question, we aren't going to ask, the people who've already interviewed to interview again, are we?
Were you here for the interviews?
No.
Jen was not here.
No,
She was
I think we're gonna have.
Yeah,
to
you
just-
were.
I
That's
was
what I
interviewed.
mean, so.
You were the interviewer. I think we almost have to in
Oh,
order
we have
for,
to?
yeah, for
Okay.
Jen to be, apprised and a part
Yeah.
of the decision.
I think we have to.
Okay.
And I have a question, and this may come with this process that we probably have to develop a policy for how this
Probably.
will be done in the future.
Future.
We don't have to wait to actually approve or accept a resignation before we can advertise that there's an opening.
Yeah.
As soon
I don't
as.
know.
I don't think so.
I think we
you
have to have that
li-
paper in hand,
Yes.
Well,
because
yeah,
a person
from
can
the
change
person.
their mind,
Well, we can solicit,
or maybe I'm
new board
misunderstanding.
members anytime. I mean, we can keep that as a focus on the on the internet or the Facebook or whatever we're using.
Yeah, yeah.
And say, you know, come on
We're-
aboard, you know, but, you can't say, I think we have to have the resignation in hand to.
Oh, I get that, and that's when, but then when we do have it, we don't have to necessarily wait if it's 2-3 weeks before the board meeting to accept it.
No, I think we have to wait for the acceptance. I think we have to wait for the acceptance of
We
the
did before.
resignation.
I think that's something we can put it, we
Yeah,
can make a policy.
we probably
I-
should have to
I
have,
think we,
iron that out,
should be
and figure that
discussed. I'm
out
with
then.
Paula. I think until the board's accepted, till the resignation's accepted by the board, it's not a resignation.
Well, Margie, you're a perfect example
I
of
know, and that's why I'm saying there's some
There-
gray area
there's
here,
some-
and
that-
there shouldn't be. We need
I-
to kind of probably
Policy that
iron
out.
that out and policy
Okay.
it, yeah.
Policy that out.
Okay.
Right, 'cause, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can
And
all
then
cover.
I think too, you know, the other thing is keeping consistent of
Right.
how long you leave the open resume deadline. Is it gonna be
2 weeks, is
2
it 3
weeks?
weeks,
Is it
4
gonna
weeks,
be
a month?
14 business date? What, you have to stay consistent.
Very good.
Right,
And
yeah.
it has not been.
And it has, you know,
Yeah.
we can't just bend those,
So it's
meet
one of
our
those
needs.
policy things we probably.
Okay.
There's more on the policy
More
committee.
on
There you
We'll
go.
add it for new business on
There you go.
Friday, because the
Solve
agenda's
it.
already been posted,
And
just
I
put
mean-
it as new business.
Yeah, okay.
So how many days, we chose April 6th because we needed some time to set up interviews and everything. And hopefully, we're gonna do these interviews, on the board meeting day. So the discussion then
Well,
depending on how many people we get that want to be on the board, however many resumes, can we back up and say, we'll have these interviews at 5:30, between 5:30 and 6, or 6 and 6:30? Can we do that?
It will be a special
Is
meeting.
anyone?
Right, it would be a
We
special
would
meeting.
have to have it-
meeting.
I was
okay.
just gonna say, I think it would be better to have a special meeting.
I would
Okay.
Well, we
personally.
can have the
That's
special
what I
meeting
would-
same day or a
yeah.
different day. It really doesn't matter.
And my,
well, but going forward, I
It
think,
does.
going forward, I do think it has to have some, however many
timeline.
days, or, it has to be concrete going forward after we get this, you know.
this one done,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like the idea of doing, so if we accept the resignation at the middle of the month at the board meeting,
Right.
we put it out there, we do a date for them to all be in by, we plan a special meeting very soon after that to do the interviews, cause my thought is, I would love to see that person come to the next board meeting prepared.
Yes.
Not thrown in at the meeting, and here's your packet that you've not seen before.
And you're asked to vote on it.
It is a little daunting, I will
Yeah.
say that, just
Right.
putting that out there.
So by doing a special meeting, beforehand, appointing them at that special meeting, giving them then the time to view that packet and come to their first meeting, good to go.
Yeah, and have the director and the president of the board talk to them and give them the packet.
Right, some communication.
Some
and- yeah.
onboarding before
I was
that
gonna
is
say,
done.
I've still not got into my email, so.
Right, and so that onboarding that can happen prior to that first meeting, which means then that we need to have a special meeting for interviews, and then to discuss and select, come back out into open meeting and seat that person.
Right.
That's probably a better way to
At the
do it.
special meeting?
At the special
At the
meeting.
special
Okay.
meeting.
If we can come
I'm
to a
not
cons-
arguing, I'm
no,
just
If we can
clarifying.
come
well,
to a
if we can
conclusion.
come to a
Yeah, right.
consensus,
Yeah,
which,
and there could be a time we don't come to a consensus,
Which
and we'll
has
just say, you know what?
happened.
And then it's
We
gonna
gotta
be
walk
another
away
month.
for another
right,
month.
and
It's
then,
gonna be
and then it
another
was
month.
another, then we could do it, we could have another special meeting, or we could do it at the regular board
At the
meeting.
regular board meeting.
But it
Gotcha.
gives us that option to have that, and then we could have those 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever, to do the onboarding, get into email, because otherwise you're.
You're
See
looking
if
at the
there's a
time frame that you were on.
committee to put them on, see.
So,
Right.
so
Right,
it's 14 days, so we accepted the resignation tonight. The deadline's the 6th, that's 14 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 business days, Monday through
Perfect.
Friday.
Mhm.
So I think, I mean,
That's
whatever we
perfect.
decide, we have to just remain constant.
Yes, I agree.
And then if that's the sixth, you make a separate, if you could get them interviewed by the 11th of April and then
But we can, I
the
think we can.
20th, yeah.
I think we can interview, go into closed session, and because we'll have all the resumes ahead
Right,
of time.
right.
Mhm.
We can interview,
get
go
it
into closed
into-
session, make a decision, ask them to stay for a while, then we can appoint and seat
Right,
at
and
that
then,
open meeting.
and then they
It's
can,
just a special meeting for that.
the next week,
And then they will
Have
have
the
some
packet,
time,
have that
but I
Yeah,
would like to
they
do
would
it.
have a week that, if you could get that all done by the 13th of April,
I
they
think
would have
so.
a week, cause the
If
next
we-
meeting's the 20th.
Right,
Right.
if we pick the day right now for interviews,
Right,
for that special meeting.
for that special meeting, and we
Then
go
I
from
need
there.
my phone, which is over there, sorry,
I don't have any.
excuse me.
Nothing
Sorry.
on Thursday.
we're also used to using our phones for everything.
I know. You, I
I
mean,
said it on the-
I'm on call
I
and I'm
still
like,
do
that
old
was like,
school a little.
oh.
Okay, so when can we meet? The April 6th is the day that they close. When can we meet within the next, that's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday?
No, Yana, you're not here on Wednesdays, right?
I'm not a part of, I don't,
Oh,
Yeah, she
okay.
won't be here for that.
No.
I'll just post.
Yeah, we
She'll
can-
do a
And
chat,
then
we asked her.
Copies of them for us, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
you'll send us resumes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay,
as we
gotcha,
receive them. We'll have
gotcha.
the 7th.
Facilitate, if you will.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can go, if it's on April 6th, Wednesday,
Why don't we meet the next Wednesday, the 13th?
well, or could we do it before that so the person has even more time?
That's my book club night, let's
So,
not be killing my Wednesdays.
so, I
What
mean,
about Monday, the 11th?
Monday the 11th is fine, as far as I know.
that works for me.
That works for me if it's after 2.
What time?
What day?
Monday,
Monday what?
11th?
Well,
The
we're
11th of
gonna
April.
have to kind of,
Here, you wanna see the,
We're going to have to kinda ask when they can come in.
when they can come in,
but we could tentatively save that.
That's what I'm saying.
but we can say it's gonna be on this day, 5 o'clock or later, or whatever.
Yeah,
Because if we could set a date, it will, for me, if you could set it won't be earlier than this time.
right,
That would be good for my scheduling,
that's perfect.
because all goes well, I pick up another school in the next 2 weeks.
Ooh,
Um,
awesome.
Crazy.
and they're probably gonna be Mondays, so.
Okay.
Oh,
So what are the best times for you on Monday, the 11th, or would Friday, Tuesday be better?
And Mondays are actually great days for me in general.
Okay,
Well, it's also an issue here because, we're open till what, 6?
We can,
I'm gonna say you
We
have
could-
to include her in there so that she can get
Oh, yeah.
personnel in here to
we'll figure it out.
cover.
Yeah.
okay. If you know ahead of time. Okay. So what time? I'm open. Rich, you tell me. Jen, you tell us.
on the 11th,
Yes.
I can be here as early as 2:30 in the afternoon.
It all depends on what happens in tomorrow night's board meeting at a school near us.
Okay, what do you think?
So, I would say anytime after 5 o'clock for me.
Okay. Well, why don't we say then that?
They know I'm a busy guy, so they'll just have to.
Okay, Monday, May 11th, why don't we set the interviews 5:30?
April 11th.
April 11th.
Sugar.
That was well done. I like that.
So Monday, April 11th, let's start them at 5:30, give you a little push.
Thanks.
And as we, get applications in, we'll get them in on the 6th. We can even, as they're accepted, when they're accepted, do you respond and say that we've received it?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't received any, what you
But
said.
when-
She's just
that's what I said.
facilitating. She'll
But-
get them, she'll pass them
Usually I-
along.
yeah.
Right, but when,
You
when
didn't
you,
get one?
Oh, no, I received one from you, but I didn't receive one directly from candidates.
oh, I was
yet.
gonna say, they should come to you, don't they? I thought they came to her.
Well, it didn't work out that way this time, but I sent it to her.
Oh, okay.
When we advertised for it, I think last time we said
Yeah, they go to
December.
Well,
Yonder.
because I was in the hospital.
But if,
But they should go to you.
Yes.
And then, because it's easier for you to communicate with all of us.
Right.
For open meeting and all of that, so.
Yeah, you can't send it to all of us
No.
in an email, but she can.
She can, so
Yes.
you
When they come to
receive
me,
it.
I'll send it to all of you, and I'll say thank you to the person.
Thank you, and we
Yeah.
are planning on having interviews on May 11th after 5:30. Is this a time
Yeah.
that you can? And then
Okay.
we'll know if it isn't, we can adapt.
Sounds good?
But if you respond in those emails with that information, that would be very helpful.
What about applications that were submitted, before I came on? So yes,
do you have
Yeah.
a folder?
They're both,
I don't
Oh.
have them.
well, the only ones that are.
Current.
Yes,
is
Current.
Faith.
I don't have,
Faith.
I don't,
And Cheryl is here this evening, so,
I don't have,
Oh,
Do you mind sending one again?
I have to look back through my emails that I sent.
I
Oh,
could
I have
actually,
it.
I have it, I
I
can
have
send
it
it.
too.
Yeah.
I have them too, I can
I was
share.
just thinking, did I bring that file with me, and I don't, but I had the file with everybody's.
I don't have them on the internet, so I can send them to you, but I got them
oh,
physically.
physically is fine,
Yeah.
we'll scan them and.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
unless you wanna update it or something.
I'll look at it.
Okay.
Somewhere.
If you wanna
Okay,
update
thank
it, then
you.
resubmit, otherwise we'll.
But when you receive them, if you can
Sure,
respond
sure.
and say,
Yes.
okay. And then that way, and then that will be a special meeting with, executive session for interviews and discussion, and then an open meeting after.
And then we'll have open meeting for potential
Right,
action,
for potential action, and the potential action would be the seating,
just to be appointment.
yeah, the
Seating
appointment and
appointment.
seating,
And the appointment this time.
yes.
Yes.
So we could do the whole thing.
Yeah, if we can do it all at once,
Right.
at first I was
person that
confused,
is
but I
on your
like the
committee
idea now
will
that I
be-
Do you
understand
like,
it.
do you understand what I'm saying?
I got
Because
it. I like it.
I have thought about this because I was thrown in with, I didn't get anything. And then 2 days later, I was appointed secretary,
Ah, lucky you.
you know, so
Then
I
I
mean.
find myself blessed.
I
I didn't
was-
get
I
that.
was- I was at that meeting and then
Yes.
appointed
Oh, we
secretary,
haven't begun
so.
yet. I know we haven't
So,
begun.
Yeah.
that's why I wanted the onboarding prior to
The
the
actual
the
monthly
actual
And
meeting.
then at
meeting.
some point, this is all gonna be codified in policy.
Right.
I can start
think it's
writing
got to
that
be.
up,
Yeah.
and
I
we
think
can
it's gotta be
start.
codified so we can protect ourselves a little bit.
I do too.
Or the future board members.
Oh, it's just-
Exactly.
Everything
It-
runs on policy, it's just gotta be.
Yeah, it's
Let's
just,
There you
get
it's
the
go.
gotta
policy
be,
So we can, so
Okay.
we don't have to sit here and
Or
talk
we
about it
So
for 30
any
minutes.
other
No, right.
discussion, or are we
it should be,
ready
pull that
to-
policy when it happens and you just do it.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then you don't have to think about it.
So any other last comments? Are we good? Good discussion.
I like it. I like it. Good.
Okay, is there any need at all for an executive session?
It's employee and staff matters.
Did you need
so-
to discuss employee issues or anything?
No, this is just in case.
Yeah.
Put it just
Yeah,
in
we put
case.
it on every agenda.
Absolutely.
Just in case, if something
Yes.
comes up today,
Yeah.
gives her a chance.
Okay, hearing none, a motion for adjournment, please.
Do it, do it, do it.
Okay.
Lynn?
Yeah, yes.
I second.
Yikes.
We
I'm
gotta
hungry.
go. Okay,
Yeah,
Hobbs.
me too.
A roll call vote for
Yes.
adjournment. Hobbs.
Yes.
Appleby.
Yes.
Fry.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Kinsella, yes.
Yes.
All right, at 7:57.